This is the video review for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Class Arcee. I got her today in a package with the Ice Cream Twins and figured I'd get the crap out of the way first because I'll warn you ahead of time, this is not going to end well. One of the things I do like is she's a lot more of an orangey pink than the dark red that a lot of pictures have shown. So that's something. She's got a pretty cool motorcycle mode. If you can get it all tabbed together correctly, it's pretty neat. Yeah. That's all I can really have to say about that. And then now we're going to get right to the crummy bits. One, she comes with a sidecar. Now it's got a little tab here that's supposed to tab in back here. You just have a kickstand. You don't need to use the sidecar to keep her up, but you can. It's supposed to plug in right here in the wheel, and you can see just how effective that is. I mean, the slot's the right. I mean, you can see the peg there. It's kind of round with a square peg. And right there, you can see the round peg with a little square notch on the bottom of it. So it's clearly intended to fit in there, and doesn't snap or even remotely hold with any friction. It's just there. You can get it to kind of stay if you just are real careful and just kind of push it up against it. But I mean, there's no, it doesn't hold at all. I think you can also maybe snap it on up here. It doesn't fit. So that's the whole point there. It's supposed to snap on right there as a sidecar, and it does not hold at all. And it's so loose that I'm not even sure if, tightening a joint with super glue or anything like that, you probably have to build up 3 or 4 layers of nail polish on that tab or in the hole for this to even start to stay in place, which is really disappointing. But yeah, what are you going to do? So we'll set that to the side. Transformation, there's some neat bits here in transformation, not a whole lot. But you want to split this up. Go ahead and when this piece comes off, you want to attach that whole arm and swing that around. And then this whole side pivots down like that. You can see her hidden little slot flap right here. It's going to end up on her back in robot mode. But you want to bring this down, fold the wheels down and together, kind of form what is ostensibly going to be the legs. You want to pull this piece out. You want to flip this seat out, and there she has a hand, which is kind of, she does have 2 hands actually. Then you fold the seat down to take that place, and fold this arm up here. And then around here, you just want to pull this arm down. You can split this a little bit. The cockpit, or the windscreen up here, does come loose. I'm wondering if some of this is not for combination mode, but you can open that up and give the elbow or the shoulder joint there a little bit more room. And then you want to take this panel here and fold it under, which kind of blocks her hand, but she does have a hand over there. And then you bring that down and pose that however you want. And then you flip her head up, or her chest halves widen as well. You can do it before or after, but you can open that up, flip her head up like that. Now she does have pretty much the same head as Chromium, just painted a little differently. Now it's slightly different, but the same kind of triangular head. And then her torso, I was hoping there was going to be some way to pose this so it looked decent, but you can twist it here, and it's got a hinge here, and it's got a ball joint here, but the way the ball joint attaches, it doesn't have enough range of movement to set this up so the wheels are under her body. She's always going to be sitting off to the side like this. I mean, the best I've managed to get is about like that. If you push this any further, it's going to pop right off the ball joint, which is just a shame. This is how much limited, you can move it on the hinge and you can move it on the ball joint, but there's no way to really get the wheels under her. Like Chromium, is very straight up and down, but she's always going to angle off to the side, which is why you need this to put her feet in. And her feet don't rotate or anything. You can't give them flat wheel feet. You have to, if you want her to stand, you have to wedge her as best as you can. She doesn't like to stay in here either. the wheels lined up just right and push her down. You manage to get her pushed in just right, she'll stay in there. But yeah, she's always going to be off to the side alignment wise, no matter what you do. I've tried all kinds of different poses, twisting everything every which way. Oh, you want to make sure this tab locks in up under there. But that's all there is to it. I mean, she's just going to be kind of crazy, kooky, messed up scoliosis spine Arcee. About the only neat thing in robot mode, I do like how they kind of got this blade on her shoulder, like they show on some of the motorcycles. That's kind of neat. And over here, aside from the hand and the arm and the elbow here, if you rotate this around and then push this button, she does have a little pop-out energy blade. That's kind of neat, and probably about the only nifty thing on this figure. I'm really hoping that if they, we'll get some pics of combined mode, and it'll look somewhat decent. Because if some of this is a sacrifice to make a decent looking combined mode, I won't feel quite so bad. I got this because it got thrown in with the package with my Ice Cream Twins. I wasn't expecting it. Well, I was hoping it was going to be a pleasant surprise. As it is, it's just kind of a crud figure. So I'm hoping the combined mode of all three of the girls kind of redeems it, because I would not buy this figure individually just for this figure. I mean, and I like Chromium. I like some of the different aesthetics they're going for. This does not win me over. So, like I said, wait. If you're on the fence, Chromium. I can recommend picking up. I think she's a decent figure. I like playing with her. But I mean, I'd wait until we see pictures of the third bike and whatever ostensible combined mode there is before spending any money on this crud. I will do a real quick comparison here with Chromium. You can see Chromium looks practically normal by comparison, aside from the giant gun arm, aside from this mutated freak over here. And then just to show you how things could have been, I mean, like, here's Arcee from the first movie. Well, I mean, she went from that to that, which, I mean, there's some aesthetically, there's some things that are similar, the kind of chicken hands and things, but this was actually a fairly decent design. Small, but decent, and this is, and even this one, even Chromium is kind of cool looking. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. Again, unless there's something about the combined mode. And I haven't really figured out much about the combined modes, but speaking of which, I will show off. Like I said, she does have the slot flap, as it's now being called, right here on her back. And Chromium has hers as well. And clearly there has to be some sort of combined mode. Somebody was saying they're supposed to just connect together back to back, but the height differential here is way off, so there has to be some sort of mechanism here. But basically, let me move Chromium's wheel out of the way. You can see there's a little tab here and then the slot here. They kind of combine triangularly. Like, you take this like this, and you want to slide this tab in like that, and then the third bike will triangle, it'll sit in an angle like this, so they'll combine together like that. Now, there's not a whole lot of posability in these joints for where they could go, so I'm curious as to how it's all going to work. Because like I said, there's the only way this moves is a hinge right here, so you're going to have some weird abomination creature. But we'll see. I'm holding out hope. If nothing else, I do like Chromium, so right now I'm 50-50 on Bicycle Twins. And if the honestly, if the third bike looks anything like the concept art we saw today, I'm gonna love that one too. I really dig that design, and I'm hoping that they actually do that design and don't just redeco Chromium with a different head like they mentioned might be a possibility in PodCon. I'm really hoping that that purple bike gets its own design, especially if it looks anything like the concept art we saw today. But anyway, there you go. Transformers Run to the Fallen, Giant Pile of Crap, also known as Arcee. This blade's cool. Maybe somebody can, Eradicon or somebody can take this blade off and use it on something that's actually worth $3.